Well, the jury has begun deliberations in the sex trafficking trial of Ghislaine Maxwell after both sides delivered their closing arguments. The prosecution in New York says Maxwell was a grown woman who preyed on vulnerable children and has urged, juries to hold her accountable.
This is the moment police raided Jeffrey Epstein's Palm Beach mansion, unsure what they were going to find. Behind closed doors here, prosecutors say Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were committing horrifying crimes. Her presence in this house is obvious, and in their closing argument, prosecutors said Ms. Maxwell was in on the whole thing. This picture, they say, shows two sexual predators. While Epstein's motivation was sexual gratification, Maxwell's, they say, was money. Prosecutors claim she was serving up teenagers for Epstein to abuse in return for this life of luxury. 4 of Ghislaine Maxwell's siblings arrived at court together for the final day of this trial.
Back it up.
Prosecution lawyer Alison Moe said Maxwell ran the same playbook again and again. She groomed them. She caused deep and lasting harm to young girls. It's time to hold her accountable. Annie Farmer's experience at Epstein's New Mexico ranch, prosecutors said, was typical of his and Ghislaine Maxwell's abusing. This picture of her at her high school prom was taken the same month as that trip, when she says Maxwell gave her a sexual massage. Her teenage diaries, in which she writes about being weirded out by Epstein's behaviour, evidence, says the government, of classic grooming techniques, to which Maxwell was an accomplice. Laura Menninger delivered the rebuttal for the defence. She said these accusers had stories to tell about Jeffrey Epstein, and decades later they inserted Ghislaine Maxwell. They each filed a civil suit and they took home millions, but their stories have changed dramatically over time. The jury, which is diverse in age, gender and ethnicity, has now been sent out to begin their deliberations. They'll consider separately each of the 6 charges of which Ghislaine Maxwell is accused. If the verdict arrives in the next 2 days and she is found guilty, Ghislaine Maxwell will spend her 60th birthday on Christmas Day in prison, and very possibly the rest of her life.